Hey YouTube, just wanted to make this quick video. I was looking up the difference between pre-tribulation and post-tribulation beliefs, and it has a lot to do with the suffering of Christians in the end times and a belief in the rapture, which I don't necessarily have an opinion on. Maybe prior to looking this information up has actually helped me with my understanding of what the rapture actually is. But more importantly, it coincides with my beliefs about the devil working against God and the tests that we're going to have to face as the faithful and as Christians, if you consider yourself a Christian, or just as a human being trying to come to grips with the ideas of God and the devil and what role we all play in this grand story that we know of as the Bible and eschatology and biblical prophecy. Because even if you don't consider yourself a Christian, you should be opening yourself up to the possibility that there actually are answers to be had, and that there are logical interpretations to the Word of God, despite the translations that it has gone through over the decades and centuries, and has become what we know of as the King James version of the Bible. And I'm not a big Bible thumper. I've never read the Bible, but I study Christianity, and this was part of my study here to understand this terminology. When I came across post and pre-tribulation, I wanted to know more. And it's ironic that there would happen to be 666 shares of this particular posting on the internet, whether that's an accurate number or not, because there's a subtle language of God in all things in this universe that we need to recognize. And when you seek out the Lord and you seek God and you seek the truth and you open your heart to belief, you will have answers coming into your world. And often I think they go ignored by people, or they maybe are scoffed at, but the importance is in the recognition of these messages that we're picking up and that we're getting. And the tribulation has to do with the suffering of Christians. And it's said that the Christians are going to be persecuted in the future. And this goes along with the belief people have of the rapture, which I never quite understood until reading this posting here on the CBN website. But they give a few different interpretations. But I think more importantly than what it is you believe, the important aspect is actually forming an opinion. And you know, we're living in this beast system where technology is taking over our lives. And as blessed as the internet is, and as much as we all love our smartphones, which I put off getting until I absolutely had to get one. You don't know how many times people made fun of me for having a flip phone up until 2015, 16. I think I finally got rid of my flip phone. I've had a smartphone for the last year or more, couple years, but you know, where is it all leading? Where is it all leading? They're saying it's leading to this beast system in the Bible, and you know, these were prophets that saw into the future, that were shown the future, and that's the most important thing. John and Daniel, that were shown these things, and the suffering of Christianity, and the suffering of Christians, and the suffering of the church. And it's just very interesting that the 666 number would come up, because indeed it is going to be the devil that seeks his persecution of God's people. And However firm or loose your belief in this, as I said, the important part is to have a belief and to believe somewhere in your mind and your heart that it's possible that this information is true. And when you start putting God first in your life, you're going to see signs and have this subtle language of God speaking to you in very interesting ways. Tell you a little story here. This past Valentine's Day of 2018, I went to the grocery store with my wife to buy some red and yellow peppers and some mint jelly for the lamb that we were going to eat as our meal on Valentine's Day. And that right there is the subtle language of God speaking, because they say Jesus came as the lamb, but he will return as the lion. But before that happens, there will be this great suffering of these souls that he has to come back to save. And it all has to do with the devil and the persecution of the people of God. And when I went to the register to check out, the total was $7.77. And they say 7 is the number of God. And it was very telling to me and my wife. It struck us both when the number came up. And when I see this 666 here, coinciding with all the information that I just read on this webpage, it really gives validity to my search for the truth, knowing that this stuff has been foretold, and it's going to be the devil that is seeking out the suffering of the people of God. And so I encourage everybody to put God first in their life and to seek the absolute truth, no matter how many people try to stand in your way or tell you that you're crazy or tell you that you shouldn't think a certain way. Because once you start hearing the subtle language of God speak to you, it becomes not so subtle anymore. So this is my encouragement for everybody, to put God first. Aside from all things, make sure you include God in all things you do on this world. Alright, thanks for listening to my message, everybody. Take care and God bless you.